Nuclear power is something mysterious and damned dangerous to most of us. Everyone knows that the consequences of an accident at a nuclear power plant are quite deplorable, at least because of the spread of radiation. But where does the fuel for nuclear reactors come from in the first place, and why does no one receive lethal doses of radiation during its production? The life cycle of nuclear fuel based on uranium or plutonium begins at mines, chemical plants, and gas centrifuges, and does not end when the fuel assembly is removed from the reactor, since each fuel assembly has a long way to go to be recycled and then reprocessed. Extraction of raw materials for nuclear fuel. Uranium is the heaviest metal on Earth. About 99.4% of the Earth's uranium is uranium-238, and only 0.6% is uranium-235. The International Atomic Energy Agency's Red Book report shows an increase in uranium production and demand, despite the Fukushima Daiichi accident, which has led many to wonder about the future of nuclear energy. In the last few years alone, proven uranium reserves have increased by 7% due to the discovery of new deposits. The largest producers remain Kazakhstan, Canada, and Australia. They produce up to 63% of the world's uranium. In addition, there are metal reserves in Australia, Brazil, China, Malawi, Russia, Niger, the United States, Ukraine, China, and other countries. In 2016, Russia produced 7.9 thousand tons of uranium. Nowadays, uranium is mined in 3 different ways. The open pit method is still very relevant. It is used when the deposits are close to the surface. In the open method, bulldozers create an open pit, and then ore with impurities is loaded into dump trucks for transportation to processing complexes. Often the ore body lies at great depth, in which case an underground mining method is used. A mine is dug to a depth of up to 2 kilometers, the rock is extracted by drilling in horizontal drifts, and transported upward in freight elevators. The mixture, which is transported upwards in this way, has many components. The rock has to be crushed, diluted with water, and the excess has to be removed. Next, sulfuric acid is added to the mixture to carry out the leaching process. During this reaction, chemists get a yellow-colored precipitate of uranium salts. Finally, the impurity uranium is purified at the refinery. Only after that is uranium oxide, which is traded on the exchange. A worker checks the radiation level of uranium oxide. There is a much safer, environmentally friendly and cost-effective method called in-situ leaching, ISL. Take a look at uranium mining by in-situ leaching method: 1. Pumping well, 2. Injection well, 3. Sorption unit, 4. Desorption unit, 5. Addition of reagents, 6. Sediment in the form of uranium oxide. This method of mining the territory remains safe for personnel, and radiation background corresponds to the background in large cities. To extract uranium using leaching, you need to drill 6 wells in the corners of the hexagon. Through these wells, sulfuric acid is pumped into the uranium deposits. It is mixed with its salts. This solution is extracted, namely pumped out through the well in the center of the hexagon. To achieve the desired concentration of uranium salts, the mixture is passed several times through the sorption columns. Nuclear fuel production. Nuclear fuel production is unimaginable without the gas centrifuges used to produce enriched uranium. After the desired concentration of uranium dioxide is reached, so-called pellets are pressed from the uranium dioxide. They are created with lubricants, which are removed during the firing process in the furnaces. The firing temperature reaches 1000 degrees Celsius. After that, the tablets are checked for compliance with the stated requirements. Surface quality, moisture content, and the oxygen to uranium ratio are important. At the same time, tubular casings for fuel elements are prepared in another workshop. The above processes, including the subsequent dosing and packaging of pellets into clad tubes, sealing, and decontamination, are called fuel fabrication. In Russia, fuel assemblies are fabricated by Mashinostroitelny Zavod in the Moscow region, Novosibirsk Chemical Concentrates Plant in Novosibirsk, Moscow Polymetals Plant, and others. Each batch of fuel assemblies is created for a specific type of reactor. European fuel assemblies are made in the shape of a square, while Russian ones have a hexagonal cross-section. In Russia, VVR 440 and VVR 1000 type reactors are widespread. The first fuel assemblies for VVER-440 began to be developed in 1963, and for VVER-1000 in 1978. Despite the fact that Russia is actively introducing new reactors with post-Fukushima safety technologies, there are many old-style nuclear facilities operating around the country and beyond, so fuel assemblies for different types of reactors remain equally relevant. For example, more than 200,000 zirconium alloy parts and 14 million sintered uranium dioxide pellets are needed to provide fuel assemblies for one core of a RBMK-1000 reactor. Sometimes, the cost of manufacturing a fuel assembly can exceed the cost of the fuel contained in the elements, which is why it is so important to ensure high energy output from each kilogram of uranium. The fuel assemblies for research reactors are worth mentioning separately. They are designed to make observing and studying the process of neutron generation as comfortable as possible. The Novosibirsk Chemical Concentrates Plant produces such fuel assemblies for experiments in nuclear physics, isotope production, and radiation medicine in Russia. Fuel assemblies are created based on seamless elements with uranium and aluminum. Nuclear fuel production in the Russian Federation is carried out by the TVEL Fuel Company, a division of Rosatom. The company works on enriching raw materials, assembling fuel elements, and also provides fuel licensing services. The Kovrov mechanical plant in the Vladimir region and the Ural gas centrifuge plant in the Sverdlovsk region create equipment for Russian fuel assemblies. Peculiarities of transportation of fuel assemblies. Natural uranium is characterized by a low level of radioactivity, but the metal undergoes an enrichment procedure before production of fuel assemblies. The content of uranium-235 in natural ore does not exceed 0.7% and the radioactivity is 25 becquerels per 1 milligram of uranium. The uranium pellets that are placed in the fuel assemblies contain uranium with a uranium-235 concentration of 5%. Finished fuel assemblies with nuclear fuel are transported in special high-strength metal containers. Rail, road, sea, and even air transport is used for transportation. 2 assemblies are placed in each container. Transportation of unirradiated, fresh, fuel poses no radiation hazard because radiation does not go beyond the zirconium tubes in which the compressed uranium pellets are placed. A special route is developed for a batch of fuel, and the cargo is transported accompanied by the manufacturer's or customer's security personnel, more often, which is primarily due to the high cost of the equipment. In the entire history of nuclear fuel production, there has not been a single transport accident involving fuel assemblies that has affected the radiation background of the environment or resulted in casualties. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Give it a thumbs up. Write in the comments about what else interesting you can tell about this video. See you in the new video.